Biden administration's plan to pause LNG export approvals, and that is now putting the energy sector in the spotlight this morning. For more on that story, we want to bring in our panel. Former Pennsylvania Republican Senator Pat Toomey is with us at the table, and former Senator Mary Landrieu, Democrat from Louisiana, now Natural Allies Leadership Council co-chair. Good morning to both of you.
Morning, Andrew.
I think I know what you're going to say.
Do you think?
I do, but the question that I'd ask you is, you look at just the remarkable rise of LNG in the United States during the last several years, frankly, under President Biden, in truth. And you can say in spite of, if you'd like, but nonetheless, you know, I think credit is when it happens, and again, we can debate it.
Yeah.
Is there any argument in your mind at all to say we've come so far so fast that there's a look that's worth having at what's happening here?
Certainly not if that includes a pause. This is ridiculous. Let's be honest. This is an obvious sop to the far left of the Democratic Party. Frank Luntz just walked us through some of the serious political problems that President Biden is facing. Among them is a lack of enthusiasm among the most liberal members of their coalition. So this is a gesture to them. But to in any way threaten to interrupt the continuing expansion of LNG exports is bad for the economy, it's bad for the environment, and it's bad for national security. This is a no-brainer, and more LNG exports helps all of those situations. So it's a pretty blatant political move on the part of the administration.
Senator, is there an argument to be made that it isn't political? Can you tell this senator why you think this is the right decision?
Well, first of all, Pat, it's good to see you, even though we're separated by technology. But let me just say that you can evaluate something while it's going on. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. These evaluations are constantly ongoing about the benefits of natural gas. And what Senator Toomey said, I agree with so much. Natural gas is part of the solution. It's not the problem. And I'm serious about this. And most Americans know this. This is not just about Louisiana and Texas. This is about Ohio and Pennsylvania and Michigan and Illinois and New York. This is about rebuilding our manufacturing base in America. I think this is an extremely counterproductive move. I don't understand it. Most people I talk to broadly don't understand it. Many Democrats are taken back by it. Natural gas is part of the global climate solution. It is the only thing available to replace global coal emissions, which are accounting for most of the damage to our atmosphere today. And every scientist knows this. So why are we stopping it? I'm not sure. It's not helping our economy. It's going to undermine the president's own climate goals and our own climate goals, which is why Democrats and Republicans are concerned. Right. So I'm hoping they'll reconsider.
So can I just add one additional thing, which is the pause is like completely indefensible. But I don't get the purpose for the review in the first place. To me, there's an implied conceit there that the government somehow knows what the correct amount of LNG exports is. The correct amount is whatever there's demand for. And if we had a supply problem, then let's build some pipelines so that we can bring more to the market.
So you think this is just a sop to climate activists?
Absolutely. Now, it does have one actual adverse effect, which is it kind of casts a chill on investment. You pointed out that we're at record high production and exports, and that's true. Let's be honest. The development that got us there started before Biden took office. It takes years to build these kind of facilities, to even do the production, and certainly the pipelines. All of it is complex and time-consuming.
He's admitted that it's heeding the call of the activists.
No, I know.
He's listened to the young people who want to use their voice for activism.
And, you know, the danger is that investors conclude that, well, under Democratic administrations, we might have some real obstacles to future development. That could have a chilling effect on investment today.
Do you think there's any chance that he walks us back?
I don't think not at this point. I mean, the president himself personally.
Right. No, that's what I'm just wondering.
So, no, I think this is. Look, he's in a terrible political spot, and he's hoping this is going to help him a little bit with an important subset of his voters. So, no, I don't think
this is Senator Landrieu, you think this is just about these sort of younger voters? And we've talked about the enthusiasm gap with Frank Luntz.
The White House said it was. I didn't say it. The White House in their press release said this is, I don't know, a gesture to the left. The problem is we need to stay focused on jobs in America and manufacturing base and rebuilding. And the president has been focused on this. He passed the IRA, the Infrastructure Act. He's invested more than any president, and with the help of Congress in some of these bills, both Democrats and Republicans. But mostly, of course, Democrats passed the IRA, which to my knowledge, and I've talked to tons of people about this, is one of the most exciting and interesting and exciting climate initiatives that's spurring all kinds of great investments. So to step all over his whole agenda is what is so puzzling. This is completely counterproductive. Will he reverse? I don't know, but I think Congress might reverse it. I've been talking on the Hill constantly since this happened Friday. There are lots of leaders on the Democratic and Republican side that are like, no, this is not our policy. And we have the right as Congress to make our policy as well. So I'm hoping that, cooler heads will prevail. People realize natural gas is a solution. It is not part of the problem, particularly when you take out methane leaks and reductions, which companies like EQT and Williams are leading the industry. And Pat knows this, Senator Toomey. Many of these companies are in his area, not just Louisiana. They're in Pennsylvania and Ohio. So I hope that Congress will take a hard look. Senator Manchin's going to have a committee hearing. I think Congressman Duncan is going to have a committee hearing next week. And we are hoping that both Democrats and Republicans can come together and say, hey, no, this is not going to work. We have to reduce coal globally, and we've got to keep our climate initiatives, because, Senator Toomey, even Republicans are stepping up, understanding that we need to meet global emissions like, Congressman Curtis.
Well, Senator Toomey, I mean, just to play devil's advocate, yes, natural gas is part of the solution to the degree it displaces coal. But to the degree, and there's a branding issue. Natural gas sounds like it's pure and clean. It's fossil fuels. If you think that more natural gas is forestalling the transition, if you think that you have to get cleaner, that's the argument.
Well, I'd push back on that. First of all, sometimes American natural gas displaces, say, Russian natural gas. Yeah. Which country has stricter standards on the production and the distribution of natural gas? We do. So even in that trade-off, it's better for the environment. But I think realistically, we should just acknowledge we have huge need for fossil fuels now and for the indefinite future. And to try to artificially come in and mandate some kind of pause in the growth of the cleanest of all the fossil fuels makes no sense.